Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brainbean here again. I don't even know how to start this one. I reached out to some of you guys on Twitter and on YouTube, but I wanted to do a bit of a Q&A because I haven't done an update video in a while. I thought this would be a little bit more fun way to do it, but I actually just filmed one of these, and when I took the card out of the camera, my video had been corrupted. So we're gonna do this again. First time for you guys, second time for me. Hopefully that means my answers are gonna be a little bit better this time, but we'll see. All right, so the first question that I have is Oferk99 asks, what are your favorite YouTubers? I watch a fair bit of YouTube because I do believe in supporting the platform in which I'm trying to make it on, essentially, right? So, you know, it's good for all of us that are creators to go out and support the creators we like, because we know how important that is. You know, if there's a YouTuber that you like and you watch their videos a lot, hit the like button. It takes you like 5 seconds to do so, and it does make a pretty big world of difference. You know, I think a lot of us, even before I was a YouTuber, personally, I wouldn't like videos every time I watched them, even if I liked the video, just because I didn't think about it. I'd close my phone and go about my day. But take that extra time and support the creators that you like. Now, going back to the initial question, my top 3 YouTubers that I watch every time they upload consistently is Boogie2988. I'm a big fan of his. I also watch Philip DeFranco every single day because I like his outlook and I like the way he does the news. And I feel like I can watch that video on my commute to work or what have you every single day, and it just keeps me up to date. I like it. And the last one is probably First We Feast with Sean Evans, you know, big old fan of Hot Ones. If you guys haven't watched Hot Ones, I highly recommend it. Sean Evans is a fantastic interviewer. It's a really, really good, entertaining channel, and it's also a really good way to get to know different celebrities that you might be interested in as well. Next question. Ali Shiraz asks, why do you think a lot of people hate Razer products, even if most of their products are excellent? A lot of their products are excellent. I don't know if I would say most, probably most. I think the reason for that is whenever you have a brand that a lot of people evangelize, you're gonna have people on the opposite end of that spectrum as well. You take Apple, for example. A lot of people absolutely love Apple. They live and breathe Apple, and then there's other people that absolutely hate Apple. I think it just kind of goes into that. For me personally, I like some Razer products. I still use their mice, don't use their keyboards. That's just my personal preference. That's not to say that their keyboards are terrible or anything like that. But I just think whenever you have people that absolutely love a brand like Razer, you're gonna have people that hate them. Knife Edits asks, is mechanical just superior for keyboards, or do some people like the membrane? Absolutely, some people like membrane. And really, yes, mechanical keyboards are superior to membrane keyboards in quite a few ways, but like I've always said, it ultimately just comes down to your personal preference. If you like the way membrane keyboards feel on your hands better, chances are you're gonna perform better using a membrane keyboard than you would with a mechanical anyways. So sure, on paper, it might be better to use a mechanical, but if you like membranes, use a membrane. It's not gonna hurt you as far as your performance per se. I mean, you might be like a split second faster with a mechanical, but if that's what you like, use what you like, because at the end of the day, it's about you and your happiness, so go with what you like. Ruben AR05 asks, do you play Overwatch? Yes. Do you watch my videos? There's my PC back there. If you guys haven't seen my build of that one, I'll leave a link to that down below. It's a Soldier 76 theme, so yes, I like Overwatch. Played it a lot when it first came out, up until maybe a couple of months ago. Kind of lost interest in it just a little bit. I still play it once in a while, but it's probably not my primary game anymore. And this PC is actually gonna change, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Ollymine asks, which gaming chair would you recommend? I kind of went over this a little bit in my chair roundup video. Things have changed just a bit since I've gotten a few more chairs since that video. Top 3 for me would be Thermaltake GT Fit, Secret Lab Omega 2018, which is what I've been using for the last couple of weeks, and Tesoro not Grand Spectrum, that's the keyboard, the Tesoro Zone Balance. Those 3 are probably my top 3 gaming chairs right now, but I do have a couple more chairs coming in the next couple of months that I've already got set up. So you guys can look forward to that. I will do another year-end roundup of all the ones I've done over the year, so that may change. But right now, those are my top 3 recommendations. Kachow Flash asks, what is your preferred gaming company? For me, as a reviewer, I try to stay pretty neutral, and I don't really buy into any one brand's stuff completely, and I tend to just go with which products I like the best and kind of piecemeal my setup together that way. I definitely see the value in going with something like all Razer products or all Corsair products, all SteelSeries, whatever, just because if you have a cohesive software, then everything will kind of gel together, especially with lighting effects, macros, stuff like that. But for me personally, I try to just use whichever peripheral I like best in whichever category. That way I get the best of all the worlds in my setup. So here's a good one coming from Sir Ham. How did you get your first recognition on this channel, and how fast did it take off? How was it making your first few videos? What was your equipment? And what mistakes do a lot of new creators make when they start out a new channel? So this one is I guess kind of a 3-parter. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of a story about when I started my channel. When I started to move into the like gaming news / peripheral side, still in the early days, I hadn't really found my niche yet. So I started covering a game called Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. It's kind of a spiritual successor to EverQuest, if you guys aren't familiar with my coverage of that game. And when I was doing that coverage, I was approached by the creator of the game, the company Visionary Realms, and they asked me if I wanted to have a phone call / interview with Brad McQuaid, who's the co-creator of EverQuest and is also the creator of Pantheon. So, of course, as somebody who played the crap out of EverQuest, it was like mind-blowing. I mean, this is like an idol, you could say, of mine. And to be able to jump on a Skype call with him and talk about the game, and talk about their plans, talk about different ways they want to promote it in the future, and potentially bringing me on to make different content for their team was something that was like incredibly validating. I was still very much in my infancy with creating videos, and that was a big motivator for me. It gave me a lot of confidence to go out and do my best to create more content. Obviously, we didn't pursue that any more than that initial call, but to still be able to talk to this guy on Skype who's created some of my favorite games of all time was absolutely awesome. Then really kind of helped light a fire under me a little bit. And then going on to some more, how fast did it take for my channel to take off, and how was it making my first few videos, and what was my equipment? My equipment was not great. I had a pretty low-level DSLR camera, very little lighting equipment, very little audio equipment. I did have some pretty decent mics because I did some music recording before that. Really, equipment isn't the big thing though. It's finding content that you're passionate about and using what you have to make the best content you can. And if that resonates with people, your channel will grow. I would say my channel started to pick up speed as I was doing more peripheral reviews. Probably about a year is when it really started to pick up. I think I hit about 5,000 to 6,000 subs in that first year, which is pretty darn good compared to a lot of people that start up channels. And you know, it's just a grind. You know, you guys, if you start channels, you can't expect to get a lot of views overnight. You really got to put in the work. And now here we are approaching we just passed 18,000, forecasted to hit 20,000 in the next 30 days. And that is going to be right at the 2-year mark. So I'm incredibly excited about that and couldn't be more happy with the progress of the channel so far. And just to answer the last part of your question, what mistakes do a lot of new creators make when they start out a new channel? It's making content that they think everybody else wants to see. Now, on paper, that philosophy is probably really good. You can follow trends, you can get viral videos, that kind of stuff. But it's gonna break you down over time. You need to pick something that you're passionate about and videos that you would wanna watch, because that will resonate with your audience. And it'll also just be so much more entertaining for you to make, because when you sit down and you edit for 10 hours a day, if you're just making some generic crap that you just think is gonna blow up and get a lot of views, you're gonna hate it, because over time, you're gonna be making a lot of these videos. So I've made like 160 videos now. If I didn't like this stuff that I was doing videos on, I would be going crazy right now. So make content that you want to make. Invader GD asks, when did you become a keyboard enthusiast? So pretty much right around the time I made this channel. Beforehand, I liked peripherals. I liked to keep my controllers clean when I played video games as a kid. And as I grew up and played more computer games, you know, you think of those peripherals as an extension of your hand. So you want to take care of them. You want to have ones that you like the way they feel. And for me, that tactile feeling when I play games has always been very important to me. So when I discovered the world of mechanical keyboards and all of the options and basically being able to completely tailor that peripheral to your exact liking, it really resonated with me. And I think that's why I like keyboards so much. It's weird, but don't judge me. That's why I like keyboards so much. Great Master Gaming asks, show us your first video. No. If you really want to see it, you can go back and watch it, but it's embarrassing and I don't want to show you. So the funny thing about that video is it's actually not even my first review. So it was of the Corsair Strafe, and I did a horrible review of it. Quality was absolutely terrible. It's still bad, but I went back and remade that video like a month after I posted it when I learned more, and it's still garbage. But if you guys want to go back and watch it for fun, I'll let you find it. I'm not going to link it down below because it's super embarrassing. Kotogaz asks, do you think it would be smart to buy a flagship keyboard now or wait a few months until another flagship comes out from something like Razer or Corsair? Judging by the trends, we got the Black Widow V2 last year. Around the same time, we got the K95 Platinum. Those are kind of the big flagships. Potentially, we could see some kind of K70 Lux upgrade variant in the near future, maybe, because that came out a little while before. But realistically, I think you're safe for the next year or so. If you want to get a keyboard now, you're not going to have to worry about a major flagship upgrade, because I think we would have seen that around CES this year. So go ahead and get it if you're really in the market for one right now. So Alvir Dominguez asks, what is your oldest tech that you still have, and does it still have a sentimental value, and does it still work? It would probably be a Nintendo 64. It does still work. We do still play it. My wife absolutely kicks my ass when we play Pokemon Stadium mini games, if you guys remember that. I guess we both played those a lot as a kid. Same with the Mario Party series, and she just dominates me when we play those. She kicks my ass. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it or not, but typically you play maybe like 8 or 10 rounds or something like that, and you know, usually she'll beat me like almost every single time. It's very frustrating. So Jocelyn asks, what is your favorite keyboard that you've reviewed so far? It's probably not my favorite keyboard per se, but my favorite review that I did was the Patriot Viper V770, simply because I didn't have a lot of expectations going into that review, especially from a company like Patriot that's more known for making memory and that kind of stuff. So when I got into the keyboard and saw all these different features after features after features, it gave me a lot of stuff to talk about as a reviewer and kind of play around with. And so that just made for a pleasantly surprising review experience. So Xi Liang, if I got your name wrong, I'm very sorry, asks, I thought you joined MS Tech not long ago. So basically the way that worked is I was just creating videos, kind of guest hosting for them for a little while. It was good exposure for me, and it helped out their channel by kind of providing some more content around products and things that they wanted covered. Ultimately, what it boiled down to is I don't have the time for both, unfortunately. And so the next video you guys are going to see going up on that channel is going to be my last video for MS Tech. We're parting ways amicably, everything was fine, but I've been starting a new job the last 2 weeks that's been taking up quite a bit of my time. And I wanted to be able to commit to this channel to still provide content regularly. Again, like I said before, this year I really want to do a lot and upload a lot more regularly and really see how much we can grow this channel. And so I just decided at this point, MS Tech was not something that I really was able to pursue any further at this time. The last question I'm gonna do is Emporium asked, what do you think about GPU prices right now? Well, I mean, all you gotta do is look at Amazon or Newegg or anything and see that they absolutely suck. It's really shitty. It sucks that the crypto mining market has destroyed being able to get affordable gaming rigs right now. I do think that hopefully in the future, companies like Nvidia and AMD will be able to either pump out more cards to meet the demand for both, or they can kind of tailor the cards one way or the other to make them more appealing to whichever side of the spectrum you're on. You know, if they produce more dedicated mining cards and then some dedicated gaming cards, that would be awesome. I don't think it's practical, but hey, we can hope. Now, luckily companies like Nvidia have tried to make more commitments to making sure there's a ready supply of cards for gamers, and I know they work with a couple of different manufacturers to provide cards for their systems, but that's more on the pre-built side of things, like gaming laptops and your pre-built desktops from companies like Alienware and that kind of stuff. But hopefully we can also see that in just standalone cards as well, but at least they do have a bit of a commitment to make sure they always have a steady supply going to the PC gamer. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the Q&A video. Again, if I didn't answer all of your questions, or if you want to give me some more questions to answer, feel free to leave those down in the comments below, and I'll look back to this video when I do another video like this. A lot of you have asked me about my setup, if I can do a setup tour, a studio tour, something like that. I definitely plan to do one for 2018, but I am kind of doing a whole change up of this setup. And I've got a bunch of parts either coming in the mail or stuff that I need to order in the next couple of weeks to really complete the setup. So I'm waiting for that, but I think you guys are really gonna like it. It's definitely gonna be by far the best setup that I've ever had. Another thing I wanted to just say is that I mentioned it a little bit before, but we are approaching the 20,000 subscriber mark, forecasted to hit that in about a month, which is pretty crazy to me. I've posted it on Twitter a little bit, but there is a spot up here in my studio phone that has a hole in it. Basically, it's like a little square missing, and that's kind of my motivator as I look up there and I see that empty spot, and I hope one day to have a silver play button up there. I'm dreaming big, but it keeps me motivated, and just to be 1/5 of the way there, it's pretty inspiring. I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully you can hit videos really hard this year and keep bringing you guys content you want to see. So feel free to leave me some suggestions down below. I've got some of the best stuff coming out in a long time coming in very soon that I'm excited to make videos for you guys about. But yeah, just thanks so much for your support, all of you that have been here since the early days, the notification squad, people that like every single video. I appreciate you guys very much, as well as to those of you that have subscribed in the last month or so. I've been getting a lot of new subscribers recently, so welcome. Thank you so much for sticking it out. I really appreciate you guys giving me a platform that I can do what I love and make tech videos and look like an idiot online and just have fun with it. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.